Hi everyone, welcome to Vlogmas with Easy Peasy, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Santa Claus. Now I know people have some very strong opinions on what to do with Santa, how much to do with Santa, not to do Santa, so I just wanted to give you some of my thoughts, and you can take it or leave it. Everyone obviously is going to do what they think is best for their kids, so I just wanted to share what we're doing and how we came to that decision and that conclusion. So we have been talking about Santa since our first kid was born 3 years ago, and it didn't matter too much when they were a baby because unless we went and brought them for Santa pictures or something, they don't know the difference. You know, to them it's just a man wearing a red suit. But when they start getting a little older, my daughter's 3 now, she's watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or they're hearing it at daycare or at school. They're hearing more and more about Santa. And at this age, it is very difficult for them to know what is real and what is make-believe. This is why they don't know that unicorns aren't real. They don't know that, you know, Santa isn't real. And so it's really the opportunity to figure out when they're young, how do we want to approach this and what do we want to do within our family for our traditions. So, like I said, it would be very difficult to completely exclude Santa from Christmas if you were living in the first world United States. That's what we found anyway, is that it's going to be seen, and some of the traditions that we like have Santa in them, like, you know, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas and things like that. And sure, that's just a movie, but that's something that is sentimental and it's nostalgia really from me and my husband, and so that's something we would like to share with the kids, you know. And we both grew up with Santa. So we really want to decide how much though, because we would like the Christmas focus to be on the birth of Christ. And when they're little, to be celebrating our love for each other, God's love for us, Jesus' birthday, and as they get older, for them to understand the importance of what that means as far as God becoming man and the incarnation and why this is such a big deal and why Christmas is a huge celebration. So we don't want all the focus to be Santa. So how do we do that? And how also do you teach little kids and allow them to play Santa and see Santa and hear about Santa, but not have it all the focus, and also not confuse them or make them feel deceived? That was another worry I had. Is I know plenty of adults who say, I remember when my parents told me Santa wasn't real and I felt completely betrayed. You know, I personally didn't feel that way. I think I found out pretty young. I think as soon as my older sister found out, she told me. And so I didn't have that reaction, but I do know people who have. And I would prefer not to lie to my kids, just to have a fun tradition at Christmas time. So, or to perpetuate it and make it bigger and bigger, you know. And I also don't like the idea of Santa giving you gifts if you're nice and not giving you gifts if you're naughty. And his love for you and his gifts are based on your behavior, which in the end, let's be honest, we're all still going to give our kids gifts, even if they are naughty the week before Christmas. And my daughter, who's 3, is not going to remember what she did this morning that was naughty, much less the entire month of December. So threatening the entire month, to me, isn't the best way to approach discipline, is with gifts from someone that she doesn't know and will never see because doesn't really exist. So there's a lot of issues with that, but then again, it'd be very difficult to not have Santa as part of Christmas at all. So how do we want to allow Santa a little bit, and how do we want to discuss that with our kids? So the first thing is the story of St. Nicholas. If you aren't familiar with it, I will link some resources to a different video I did on St. Nicholas's feast day, which is December 6th. And he's a great saint. So he was a real person. He died and he's in heaven with Jesus now. But we learn from his life how he was very charitable and he gave to people that were poor. You know, he anonymously left gold for them so that the family would have the money they needed. And we have a tradition. He also would leave toys for kids. So we have a tradition of giving toys and giving gifts and things because St. Nicholas was very generous. So we imitate St. Nicholas in that way. And Santa comes from St. Nicholas originally. The different names, Kris Kringle and Santa Claus, and the different languages have all come from St. Nicholas. And so we have to be careful though, because I was teaching once and my student said, you know, oh, so Santa Claus is St. Nicholas. I'm like, yeah. And he says, so Santa Claus doesn't live in the North Pole? he makes the toys in heaven, and then he comes down from heaven on Christmas Eve and he get to give us toys. And I'm like, whoa, back it up. Like, wait a minute. That's not really where we're going with this. So having the kids understand that because St. Nicholas was a great person and taught us how to be charitable and show love to each other through these gifts to help people and to show our love for them, then this idea of Santa came from that. And so Santa is fun. Santa is something that we pretend that we do as a game every year because it's fun to do. It's fun to give gifts. It's fun to remember what St. Nicholas did and to do something joyful. That's why we give gifts, is to show our love. And so that's how we'll explain it to the kids. Right now, my daughter is still struggling with the fact that Santa isn't real, because anything she sees on TV, she thinks is real. And so, but as she's growing, and asking about Santa, we're going to direct her in the way that Santa is an idea of St. Nicholas and what he did, and we like to continue it because it's really fun to do around Christmas. One of the ways we celebrate Jesus' birthday is through giving gifts. And so we pretend that St. Nicholas or Santa Claus came and left us presents like St. Nicholas really did when he was alive. And so it's a little game, and invite the child, do you want to play? Okay, so my sister has 5 kids, and the oldest 2, when they didn't always do Santa, but when they started wanting to know about Santa and do things, she allowed them to be Santa and to put gifts in the little kids' stockings. And I just thought that was such a great idea, because they were like, ooh, they were so excited that they were going to leave the surprise, and the kids don't know, and they get to pretend that Santa came. But all along they knew that it was like a game and that it was for fun. And so the other thing is, we're not going to focus a ton on Santa. Growing up, I think the tendency, at least when I was growing up in the 80s, everybody I knew, Santa brought them the biggest, the best gift that they wanted. The most expensive, the largest item. When you're little, the biggest thing is always the best, right? So that was always from Santa, and my parents gave us gifts too, and they were smaller and lesser, and sometimes clothing or books or other things. But the biggest fun stuff, the toys, were from Santa. And so I think with our family, I think we're going to reverse that. And so Santa is going to bring a couple of small things. I think Santa is going to be the one who leaves gifts in the stockings, which goes along with St. Nicholas as well, like in the stockings or in the shoes, as the tradition with St. Nicholas. So the idea is, the kids are going to get few small little toys and items in their stocking. That's what Santa brought them. And then the gifts under the tree, the big gifts, if they got a bike this year, if they got a big set of Legos, whatever they got was like the really fun stuff, is going to be for mom and dad. And I really like that because it's a relationship they have with someone. My daughter already at 3 will say, when she gets a dress out, when she gets a toy out, this is what Grandma and Papa gave me. This is what my aunt gave me, and so she already has a certain idea of, this is special because it came from someone that I love. And so I'd like to encourage that, instead of encouraging the biggest, most awesome gift is from someone that's make-believe that we will never really know in real life. And so those are my ideas with Santa. I'd love to hear yours. What do you do with Santa? Do you go all out and Santa brings everything? Do you hear Santa on the roof? Do you go take pictures with Santa? We may go take pictures with Santa. This year's a little different because our Santa has a mask on and it's COVID, and so I don't think we'll do it this year. But when the kids get a little older, I think it will be a little bit more exciting and fun for them. Right now, there's a lot of nervous looks when they sit by Santa, and they're scared and sometimes crying. And I'm like, okay, well, I want it to be something enjoyable for them. Although the pictures are funny when they're crying later, for us, it's a little traumatizing for them. So I think I'll wait until they're a little older for them to do pictures with Santa. And then again, kind of just not encouraging everything to be about Santa, but allowing Santa to be a part of it in the way that we play this fun game at Christmas time to celebrate Jesus's birthday and to give gifts kind of secretly, because everybody loves secret. I mean, this is why Secret Santa at your work and things like that, and amongst your, we have a cousin's gift exchange and you don't tell who you got, until the day of, and then it's a surprise. everybody enjoys that. Adults enjoy that kind of secret, you know, giving gifts and it's a surprise. And so the kids can understand that as well. So teaching them that it is from the beginning a tradition that we pretend and we play because it's the fun thing to do around Jesus' birthday at Christmas time is the way that we're going to handle it. So let me know what you think. What are your ideas? What do you do? Again, I'm curious. I'd love to hear everybody's ideas and how they do it. I'm always looking. We're always still looking. I mean, my oldest is 3, so we're still looking for ideas of how we're going to handle this as they get older, and other things like the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, like the list goes on and on. But Santa is definitely the biggest one. So anyway, have a great day. Happy Advent, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you tomorrow for another Vlogmas. Bye.